So Deadpool has finally teamed up with Wolverine in a movie. Was it good? Was it bad? Let's find out. Hi everybody, and welcome to another video, and welcome to another review video, my dear friends. Today we are looking at Deadpool and Wolverine that just came out this week, and I have to warn you first, this review will potentially contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, go and watch it, and then come back and listen to my review. I'm going to tell you right away from the get-go that I thoroughly enjoyed the film, but I enjoyed it for one particular specific reason, and that is, and I will tell you right away, for the first time in a long time, I thought like comic book fans who have read upon the history of Marvel Comics and who have read a lot of titles, especially X-Men titles, will enjoy this film a lot. And that there are a lot of things in this film that normies will not get. By normies, I mean people who are only acquainted with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and with the other films that are not necessarily or haven't so far been necessarily a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There were a lot of homages, a lot of nods, lots of cameos that specifically come from the pages of various comic books and comic book runs that have never really appeared in any of the movies or have been touched upon in any of the movies or, have been explained in the films. I will get to that a little bit later. First, I'm going to tell you the film itself. It was basically a third film about Deadpool, in its true sense, which means that the humor is the same, the style, the cinematography is all the same. We've got this merc with a mouth, traveling through universes because he needs to save his own universe, and for that he needs Wolverine. Now, why does he need Wolverine? Well, because, Ryan Reynolds has wanted to do a team-up with Hugh Jackman for, a long time, even before they made the first Deadpool film. But suffice it to say here, and now the spoilers will come, big time. So, he is living in the... Of course, we are dealing with the multiverse here, and he lives in the universe where Logan, the movie Logan, happened, and we get to know that the demise of Logan caused the demise or the upcoming demise of the universe where Deadpool lives, because according to what is the name of that thing that was in Loki, that special company that took care of timelines. I can't remember. I saw the first season of Loki and I can't remember the name of that organization. Well, basically, the organization is there in the film, very much present, very often, and they are directly dealing with the matters and with Deadpool and with Wolverine and with other things. And so they apprehend Deadpool, and there's a lot of exposition, and they say that, every multiverse has one person that is, so important for that universe that when the person dies, the universe dies with it. And so Deadpool decides to save his universe. For that, he needs to save Wolverine. He travels through universes and meets different Wolverines, and that's where the fun starts for me, because at the beginning there's a lot of different versions of Wolverine. There's a montage, and there's, come on, they even made an homage to one of the most famous covers of Marvel Comics like X-Men, where Wolverine is crucified. I think it was drawn by Silvestri, if I'm not wrong. And so he even meets a short Wolverine, and that's like so good. And so he finally finds his Wolverine, which very appropriately to Deadpool the character and to the films, he finds like the worst Wolverine of all the universes in the multiverse. A Wolverine who has let his world down, and who has let his fellow X-Men down, who let them die and things like that. And he himself, throughout the entire film, Deadpool, is fighting with, feeling of not being important, and that he's a failure and things like that. So it's like a redemption arc for both of these characters, and it's nice to see that they have tried to put something of a character development in it. And it is very hard. I imagine it was very hard to make a character development film about two characters that have appeared in a lot of films already. Now, in the case of Wolverine, especially, and of course, now that I'm thinking about it and talking about it, Hugh Jackman being Wolverine for like 20 years plus, I suppose, 20 plus years. Deadpool being a character who breaks the fourth wall a lot, and he breaks the fourth wall a lot here, with references to Disney, with references to Hugh Jackman, and the fact that Disney is... I love the part when he says, Disney is now going to force you to play Wolverine until you're like 90. And so, references to Fox and things like that. So it was fun. There were a couple of jokes that were really funny, but otherwise it's, like this. I've never been like particularly fond of all the jokes in the Deadpool films. At times it seems to me that they are a little bit forcefully, like disgusting or graphic or whatchamacallit. But it's at times it was funny. So as a film by itself, it was all right. It wasn't the best Deadpool film, just by comparing it to the craft and the story. But what it makes the best Deadpool film for me is precisely that which I mentioned at the beginning of the video: the cameos and the nods and the homages to not only the comics, but also to previous films. And I'm not talking about like MCU films, but like the actual good Marvel films that came before the MCU. And before I get to like the brutal spoiler part of the review, which I'm going to get to, because I'm not going to like make two versions of this review, I'm just going to tell you to look at the screen. One of the more famous nods and homages here is, if you look at the shop behind Wolverine and Deadpool, the Liefeld's shop, feet only. So Rob Liefeld is a man who created Deadpool, who was one of the most important personalities in the comic book scene in the 1990s. A man who drew comics and wrote comics for Marvel. He reinvented the New Mutants. He made them into X-Force. So he came up with Deadpool. He came out with Cable. And then, he moved with other people to establish the Image Comics. And this is a very famous personality. He's got a very specific style. A lot of people are criticizing Rob Liefeld for his style of drawing. They feel like it's not, very faithful to what the human anatomy looks like. But come on, it's like comics. Obviously, not everything will look like, 100% human anatomy. There are a lot of artists who have their own specific style that is very, very far removed from reality. Like, my favorite artist is Simon Bisley, and Simon Bisley's art is very far removed from reality. The same thing can be said about Mike Mignola, and definitely about Rob Liefeld. But a lot of people are making fun of Rob Liefeld for not drawing feet on his characters. That the feet are always out of the picture. They are not like in the frames, in the panels. They are out of the panels, and that's why that shoe shop behind them is called Liefeld's Feet Only. And I thought it was pretty funny. I love the fact that they did like very direct nods and homages to a lot of comic book creators, like Liefeld obviously and John Byrne and things like that. It's not not just an hey, there's like Stan Lee. Yeah, no, like actual people who worked on the characters, who came up with the characters, who drew and wrote the characters, who revolutionized the characters or reinvented them. This is something that I haven't seen before in any of the Marvel films. And so now we are getting to the brutal spoiler part of the review. I mean, of all the cameos, of all the characters that appeared in the film, I mean, Blade is something that just took my breath away. I was like, fuck, there's Blade! Man, and it's Wesley Snipes! It was so fucking awesome. And then obviously, the fact that they did like 100% comic book looking accurate Gambit, that was fantastic. Elektra was fine. Johnny Storm, I mean, I knew it from the get-go. When Chris Evans appeared on the screen, I was like, nah, this isn't Captain America, Chris Evans. This is Fantastic Four, Chris Evans. These moments are moments why you should really like go watch or rewatch the film. And just for those of who know, let me know in the comments down below if that Henry Cavill was actually Henry Cavill as Wolverine, or if it was CGI, because that was mental, right? So, I hope you haven't, or I hope you have seen the film, those of you who have reached this point of the review, because I gave away like one of the best spoilers there are. Right, so let me know in the comments down below, my dear friends, what do you think about the Deadpool film? Did you enjoy it? Are you versed in the Marvel comics, like comic books? Those that were actually nodded upon in the film, because I've read like basically every version of the Wolverine that appeared in this in the little montage at the beginning of the film, and I couldn't be more excited. The Age of Apocalypse Wolverine is probably my favorite version as far as the visual style. It just looks so crazy with a massive, huge hair and one hand missing. And instead of that, like him having this pirate hook style thing, but without the hook, but with, Wolverine claws. It was just so good. Right, so let me know in the comments down below what you think. And that'll be all. Thank you very much for watching. And I'm out of here.